I had a heart attack. In the haze of panic, I reached for my phone, desperate to call Emma, my wife, hoping she could help. She was away on a business trip, but in that moment she was all I could think about. My shaking hands hit the video call button, and her face appeared on the screen. But what I saw made my heart race for a different reason. She was in bed, her bare shoulders visible and her hair tousled, not from sleep but from something else entirely. Next to her was a man I didn't recognize, his arm draped over her in a way that made it clear this wasn't a casual encounter. Her eyes widened in shock when she saw me, but then she quickly glanced over at the man beside her. He turned lazily and smirked, his bare chest on full display like it was no big deal. "Are you okay?" he asked, not caring at all about the situation. Emma scrambled to cover herself with a sheet, but when she looked back at me, I was barely holding on. "I think I'm having a heart attack," I managed to say, my vision narrowing. Her face faltered for a moment, but it quickly turned into something cold and indifferent. She looked at the man beside her, then back at me. "Call an ambulance, then Jacob." And just like that she turned her back on me. I don't remember much after that. I blacked out and woke up in a hospital bed, 36 hours later, alone. There were no flowers, no notes, no visits from Emma. The nurse said I was lucky to be alive. Someone had found me collapsed at the door. But I knew better. It wasn't luck, it was rage that kept me alive. I glanced at my phone. There were 2 messages from Emma. One said, "Hope you're okay," and the other, "We need to talk." But she never once asked if I was still breathing. I lay there staring at the ceiling, that betrayal sinking deep. She had watched me suffer and chosen to walk away. In that moment, something inside me hardened. This wasn't just about her cheating, it was about her abandoning me when I was at my most vulnerable. And I couldn't let her get away with it. Not this time. The next few days gave me time to think. I was physically recovering, but the emotional wound she had inflicted on me refused to heal. I needed to know more. This wasn't a simple fling. If she was with that man, he meant something to her, maybe more than I ever did. I started digging into her life. I checked the shared calendar and saw she'd been taking monthly trips to Chicago. I logged into our phone carrier's account and found a contact labeled Tony, with endless texts and calls late at night, an affair that ran deep. It was all right there in front of me. And so, I gathered everything: the video, the call logs, screenshots of her calendar. I sent them to myself under the heading, Evidence. I wasn't just preparing to leave her. I was preparing to destroy her. I called a lawyer. I wasn't interested in reconciliation. I wanted consequences. The lawyer, Mark, was sharp, exactly the kind of person I needed. He didn't flinch when I handed him a flash drive with everything on it. He watched the video, took it in, and nodded. "We'll file for abandonment and emotional cruelty," he said. "And with the proof of her affair, we can make sure she loses everything." That was exactly what I wanted. I didn't just want a divorce. I wanted to take everything: the house, the joint accounts, and if possible, ruin her career. Emma was in PR and she built her life like a brand, carefully curated, polished. I was about to destroy that brand. I started gathering everything I could. She had forgotten an old phone, and I managed to sync it to her iCloud account. There, hidden in the data, were all the things I needed: photos, videos, texts, everything from the trips she took with him. I had all the ammunition I needed to make her regret ever choosing him over me. Now, it wasn't just about getting even. It was about taking her world apart, piece by piece, until she had nothing left. The conferences were draining, with one panel after another, but the photos kept coming. Selfies with Tony in robes, a boomerang of her lounging with champagne in bed, his arm casually in the frame. Then there was the text thread where he told her, "I love when you talk about your husband like he's a dying dog." I took a screenshot of that one twice. The next step? Hit her where it hurt: her money. Mark suggested freezing our joint accounts until the court handled the separation. Within 48 hours, she couldn't access a cent of our savings. When she tried to Venmo Tony for a hotel stay, it was declined. The next time she used our Amex for a meal, the transaction was denied. By then, Emma was texting me in a panic, "What the hell, Jacob? You blocked all my cards." I didn't respond. Instead, I sent her a Dropbox link with the title, "For Your Attorney." Inside were the texts, the calls, the hotel receipts, and a brief note: "I know. So will the judge." The following evening she showed up at the house, pounding on the door, shouting my name. I didn't open it. I watched her through the window, lights off. For once, I was the one hiding in the shadows. 2 days later I got a call. Not from Emma, but from Sam, a mutual acquaintance who was always up to date on office gossip. Hey, I don't know if you've talked to Emma lately, but she's gone from the company website. No goodbye post, nothing. Just disappeared. I checked the site myself. Sure enough, her smiling face, used in every panel and podcast feature, was gone. Her name no longer appeared on the leadership page. Her bio was deleted. I checked her social media. Silence. The woman who once posted daily motivational quotes had been absent for a week. That morning I had a message from her. I need to talk, please. I didn't reply. Emma's downfall wasn't public, but it was total. The HR email had set off an internal investigation. They discovered discrepancies in her expense reports. Meals passed off as client meetings during her secret getaways, hotel rooms booked with personal time billed as work. It was more than enough for them to fire her quietly. She wasn't let go for cheating, she was let go for lying. They protected the company's image, but not hers. Tony, unsurprisingly, caved even faster. It turned out he was married too. His wife found out about their affair when an anonymous package with a photo of Emma and Tony in bed, champagne and all, arrived at their doorstep. I didn't send it, but I knew who did. Karma always has a way of showing up. Emma kept reaching out, texts, voicemails, even an email titled, "Let's end this peacefully." I replied to her once, "We will, just not on your terms." Through Mark, the divorce was finalized. She got nothing. The prenup held up, reinforced by her documented infidelity and abandonment during a medical crisis. Her last message to me was the most honest thing she'd said in years. "You didn't just leave me. You destroyed me." I didn't respond, but I did smile, not because I enjoyed her pain but because I finally felt at peace. The closure she never got was mine. 6 months went by without a word from her. No texts, no accidental run-ins. Emma vanished from my life and from the circles we used to share. I heard she moved to another city, trying to start fresh and rebuild her career. The irony wasn't lost on me. Emma, the PR expert, now managing the fallout of her own personal brand disaster. As for me, I was in a better place than I'd ever been. I didn't rush into anything. No rebounds, no distractions. I went back to the gym, picked up photography again, and started cooking real meals for myself, not just throwing things together in a rush. I made new friends, quiet ones who didn't bring drama or secrets. For the first time in years, I looked in the mirror and actually liked the man I saw. Not the guy who begged for validation, not the one who tolerated harmless flirting, not the one who ignored red flags. I was the guy who watched Emma walk into the flame she lit and never once reached for the extinguisher. Then one night I received an envelope in the mail. No return address. No name. Inside there was a card. No handwriting, just one typed sentence. "Do you ever think about what we had?" I didn't need to ask who it was from. I shredded the card without a second thought. Emma never understood. She thought love was a weakness, that kindness was vulnerability. She believed I would just sit there while she twisted the knife. But all she did was show me who she really was, and once I saw the truth I never looked back.